that Pigs in Space?
Yes.
That was the best! The best!
With the little meeple sheep.
Oh, shoot. I forgot about the sheep.
The meeple sheep.
The little sheep.
I have that game where you throw the sheep and they're like, is it on its side? You get 7 points. Is it on its feet? You get 12.
Has nothing to do with this game.
Not at all.
Hi, I'm Giancarlo.
I'm Felicia.
And this is our review of Space Race.
Players take on the role of a space agency trying to get the most victory points by the end of the 7th round or decade. The game is set here, and the random elements each game will be the cards in the player's hand and the cards that appeared here in the universe. The round is made up of 3 phases: manage the agency, develop the agency, and prepare for the next decade.
In Manage the Agency, players will play one of their control cards face down. Each player has the same control cards, but depending on what they play will yield different results. The 4 types of control cards are Propaganda, Technology, Space Program, and Breakthrough. When players have decided, they flip the control cards over and all other cards in the universe face up. We then develop the agency.
Control cards are resolved in order by types as listed here. If 2 or more players reveal the same type, the player who has the most points in that stage does one action first in that stage, and the next player does one of theirs in that stage and alternate until both players pass. The power level of the stage to determine who goes first is all the points totaled in that stage from their control cards, and cards in the agency they accumulated so far. If a tie still persists, the player closest to the first player clockwise goes first. Let's look at the card's iconography.
Most iconography layout is the same, with the icon and them changing. These simply mean where you take the card from, what type of card, and place it where. The universe is cards in the middle. This means from the deck, and this from the hand. Players also have their agency build up and another area called the laboratory, where cards are placed face up and sideways and to the left of the control cards, not to confuse them as being in the agency. Some icons will have numbers as well, telling you quantity of cards rather than type. All is conveniently listed in here on reference cards. Now, icons on the left side will be reoccurring abilities a player can do when they play a control card with that stage. Also, as stated, they might add power to that stage, ensuring the player does their actions before another who might have played the same stage. The icons on the right are one-shot ability when used. When done, slide over a card, or use a reference card if you have none, to cover it up as such. Some abilities will uncover cards as well. Lastly, some cards have immediate effects when placed in the agency. These will have this icon at the bottom. When all players have passed with their action, we do bureaucracy. Players will do all the effects, unless written "you may," from all their cards in their agency with this icon. When done, we prepare for the next decade.
Here, players can place any of their space race cards face down in the universe in hopes of maybe to get them. Players' hand limits are 7, so any cards above that must be placed. Then if there are fewer face down cards in the universe, then numbers of players add them from the deck. You'll shuffle these and reveal some depending on number of players. Move the initiative marker to the player on the left. A new round begins as players play another control card as such. If this was the end of the 7th round, we go to the final scoring. Each player totals up their agency level, excluding the ones from their control cards, and add 1 point for each card in their laboratory. Next, players compare the 4 types of breakthroughs they have in their agency, as listed here. Players who have the highest amount will score 6 points for each type. Players with the most points wins.
So that's the gist of Space Race, but I will say that this game's tactics and strategy will hardly shine in a video. The game offers a very interesting and original mechanic of how to manage your agency based on the cards in the universe in your hand and when to put those cards in the universe and get them before another player snatches them up. Control card hand management is important as these don't usually come back. Besides the tactics and strategy hardly shining in the video, I will say it won't shine either the first couple of playthroughs, and there will be a learning curve. The game will be a lot easier once you know what the cards do and how to anticipate your opponent's choice of control cards played that round. It's really interesting as there might be a chaotic feel to the game or a luck factor, even though most cards will be right there in front of you. But again, this is probably due to not knowing the cards, so only a half-point penalty there. I absolutely love the artwork style for this game, and the card stock is really excellent, and the rest of the components as well, including this foam separator in the box. I will say tokens might have been useful to know what actions were activated per turn. I love the length of the game being so short, but I also find it's a double-edged sword as it's limiting in terms of your engine building potential, so another half point. Game has replay value as well, and it's got advanced play and solo mode as well as a healthy dose of space cards to make every strategy different every game. That said, the game will certainly not be for everyone, and there was a mixed reaction in our group, so another half point there. In the end, I personally enjoyed it, and Space Race is slightly above the average with a score of 7.5 out of 10. Subscribe now to our channel to stay in the loop. If you like our work, help us continue by sharing the channel to your gaming group. Thanks for watching and happy gaming.